melee,
confused struggle, a physical fight among several people. Instead of changing Israel's course, the recognitions only emboldened the government in its diplomatic melee with a growing list of Western countries. Oren Lieberman, CNN Money, 21 September 2025.
bane,
A source of harm, a cause of ruin or destruction. Collective farms, the bane of Soviet agriculture that had once inspired Fidel's revolutionary visions, were no longer the norm. Joseph J. Gonzalez, The Conversation, 3rd October 2025.
pitch,
To promote, to present or advertise, especially in a forceful way. When Albert Rhodey pitched The Godfather, Paramount rejected the project for not being a real gangster movie.
extol,
To glorify, to praise highly. The benefits of exercise are widely extolled.
albeit,
Even though, customers seemed generally cheery, albeit some were more cautious than others. Cynthia Clark, Publishers Weekly, 26 January 1998.
imbue,
Infuse, permeate, influence, ingrain. The tobacco is imbued with prayer, and its smoke takes that prayer to Creator. Frank Vasvilas, jsonline.com, 1st October 2025.
thrive,
To progress, to gain strength or wealth, to grow vigorously. Cactus thrive with relatively little water. Commercial entrepreneurs sometimes become celebrities, with their names known globally for the new ideas, processes, and products they have brought to market. Less well known, but with as great an impact, are the social entrepreneurs. The desire of social entrepreneurs is to change society in some way. For example, John Muir, the founder of Sierra Club, had a major impact on the way Americans view the natural environment. Today's social entrepreneur brings energy and novel approaches to issues around the world, tackling seemingly intractable problems such as inadequate water supplies in rural communities, lack of vaccination against childhood diseases in developing nations, and the absence of hospitals in areas that badly need them. To succeed, social entrepreneurs need more than energy and ideas. They must also marshal charisma and conviction to persuade many people that changes are necessary, timely, and possible. This fact may explain why some social entrepreneurs start out as celebrities rather than becoming celebrities. Their fame gives them an international platform from which to pitch their plans. In fact, among the best known social entrepreneurs today are people who gained celebrity for their achievements as commercial entrepreneurs. When the great influenza pandemic of 1918-1919 struck, an estimated 675,000 Americans died. That was 10 times the number of Americans who died in World War I, which was then coming to an end in Europe. Sometimes called the Spanish flu, the influenza, which initially seemed to begin as a common cold, would ultimately take approximately 50 million lives worldwide, killing more people than the bubonic plague had killed from 1347 to 1351. The U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) estimates that nearly one-third of the world's population was infected with the influenza virus, which is surprisingly virulent among the young and fit. Today, live samples of the 1918 virus and evolving RNA science give researchers a good picture of the structure of this flu strain, yet both the origin and cause of this catastrophic plague episode remain a mystery. The CDC's interpretation of the data is chilling. Until the root cause of the 1918-1919 pandemic are understood thoroughly, Analogous conditions could lead to an equally devastating pandemic. In addition to its status as a textile, the Bayeux Tapestry serves as an important source of information about the Norman invasion of England. It contains a sequential arrangement of images that tells the story of the events leading up to the invasion and the eventual victory at the Battle of Hastings of William the Conqueror. However, calling into question the tapestry's authority as an objective report of contemporary history is the supposition that tapestry was commissioned by William's half-brother and thus tells the story of the event from a Norman perspective. Crucial information about some of the events depicted seems to have been omitted from the embroidery. It is possible that Bayeux's tapestry colored contemporary public perception of the event because, at the time, the majority of people were illiterate and could only read about the invasion in pictorial format. Albeit unintentionally, Roy Lichtenstein was a founding member of the pop art movement, a 1960s manifestation of counterculture values that rested on the disdain for tradition. By imbuing icons of popular culture with elements of abstract expressionism, Lichtenstein created a mockery of art in a comic book style with a strong whiff of commercial art, the bane of the serious artist. Lichtenstein attempted to parody established ideas of art and thus disassociating himself from artistic expression. But as the concept of pop art took hold, he gained renown in the art world. As pop art progressed, Lichtenstein's ideas endured, and the depiction of popular icons of American culture through the use of commercial techniques came to characterize the genre. The concept of a true constructivist education, as envisioned by Piaget, Vygotsky, and Brunner, is an attractive goal. A renewed focus on experiential and project-based learning that focus on activity rather than memorization and drilling is evident in curricula, national standards, and the missions of many primary and secondary schools. Some argue that constructivist learning approach leads to unregulated melee of classroom activity that result in wildly varying knowledge bases and skill sets. However, this overlooks the fact that the pursuit of profound knowledge through conventional means is the ultimate goal in higher education. Conventional education, students are asked to master specifically delineated content associated with their age-determined grade, but students never truly learn how to learn. In many cases, students who learn to flourish as passive learners agonize when challenged by the open-ended project tasks and assessments or other assignments that lack boundaries. Beneficiaries of the constructivist education are better equipped than conventionally trained students to thrive in these situations.